This is Big Girl Diary. Now, this is going to be a tough one for me to do because it deals with culture and how people are classified in this country. Now, one thing is very true is that when people come here and they have black skin, right? The first thing what is done is they separate themselves from the Black American community. I didn't mean to do that. I like that instrumental. Oh, man. Okay. In Maine, there is this guy by the name of, Cortelli, Cordinelli, okay, I'm messing up his name. And his sister was dating a guy named Ishaq Muse. Now, my thoughts are this. At the time, she was 17. At the time, he was 22. Now, my thought right there is, why was she allowed to date a 22-year-old man? I don't care what anybody says. If she's 17, she's still a teenager. She doesn't even have a right to vote. And I'm looking at the parents side-eyed, okay? He's 22. Why is he looking at and even dating a 17-year-old girl? But that's not the main focus of the reason why I'm doing this. I just want to point out some things that when the news presents information, they present it in a way that, let me just show you. Oh man, because this right here really gets me. Okay, here. Maine Supreme Court overrules new trial in shooting of a black man. Now that right there automatically gets people riled up, okay? But let's go to the bottom of the article to substantiate what I said. Now, as you go through the article, wait, I went too far. Here. Wait a minute. Now, he's a Muslim. Now, one thing Muslims that are not from this country do not do is identify as a black Muslim. That's an American thing. Okay? They don't identify as a black Muslim. They identify simply as a Muslim. Period. Now, because this guy, and this right here really gets me because it's an agenda. Because this guy is white, right? They headed shooting of a black man because he's getting a new trial for whatever reason. And I'm not even going to get into that. That right there is not my main point. My main point is simply pointing out that they are talking about a shooting of a black man. Now, I'm going to play you a small video. Okay. Now, what occurred was Ishaq goes over to his girlfriend's home. And whatever occurred, he refused to leave their property. He was asked to leave several times and he refused to leave. Now, I mentioned a cultural difference. Now, things are done in other countries to where you can tell a man to leave your home and he doesn't have to, and he refuses to. And before you come and say, that's not true, blah, 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 stop. Tell me where you're from, and I'll go ahead and do a rundown on your country's cultural norms. Don't come here talking sideways at the side of your mouth, leaning your neck a certain way. You know what it is. He refused to leave. The family asked him to leave several times. No, I'm not leaving. I could only imagine. I'm not leaving. No. Oh, how dare you tell me to leave? But before I get into the video, let me get into the article a little bit to prepare you for the video, because I found it quite interesting. Now here, Mark Cardelli Jr. enters the Cambridge County Courthouse. Okay, now Maine Superior Court on Thursday reversed the order for a new trial in Portland. A Portland man who was convicted of manslaughter for shooting his sister's boyfriend. Again, I can't believe she was allowed to date a 22-year-old man. Again, that's just me. Some people do things differently. Nah, A judge later last year vacated Mark Cardelli's Jr. 2019 manslaughter conviction and granted a new trial after concluding that his trial attorneys provided inadequate counsel. Now, I could only assume that there was an appeal. And now, if a new trial is granted, it is not because of the evidence. No, it was because of procedure. That's it, procedure. All right. Okay, I did not mean to do that again. Oh my goodness. Okay, Cardelli was free on bail after the judge's decision. Now, Cardelli faces the possibility of going back to prison to complete the remainder of his 7.5-year sentence. His lawyer, Thomas Hellett, said he and Cardelli were deeply disappointed and were reviewing his legal options. Cardelli testified that he fatally shot Ishaq Muse in self-defense during a confrontation that escalated after Muse refused to leave the Cardelli family home when asked by the parents. Cardelli was 24 at the time and Muse 22. The shooting caused tension in Portland's Muslim community, with some calling it a hate crime by a white man against a Black Muslim. Now, excuse me. I'm going to let you in on a little trick, and people are going to get upset with me, and that's okay because I'm getting tired of this. This right here really upsets me and a lot of people in the Black American community. What occurs is whenever something positive happens in a group of people that are not from the United States, they give the nation that they're from and then add American to it. But when something bad happens, all of a sudden, a Black man. That needs to stop. If you can praise the people who do stuff well and then you call out that nationality, then you need to call out the nationality when they do something wrong, and don't put that mess on Black Americans. That needs to stop. It's hypocritical. I was going to go into something a little deeper, but I'm going to keep this surface level. Keep it surface level. Oh, by keeping it surface level, No, I'm gonna leave it alone right there. That's for another video. Another video. So against a black man, no, against a Muslim, against a Muslim, period. The Cardelli attorneys argued that the case was not about race or religion, but about limits to the state's self-defense law. Now, if the family, the parents, and that is great disrespect, so disrespectful, the parents asked him to leave their home and he refused. What kind of stuff is that? What kind of stuff is that? The parents said, look, you got to go. Whatever occurred, when you're asked to leave, you leave. You don't stay where you're not wanted and force yourself on people. Well, I'm staying and I'm not leaving. No. That may work other places. No. When people have their property, you do not have the right to keep yourself on property that A, does not belong to you, and B, when you were asked to leave, you should have left. Not say, I'm not leaving, or whatever the situation was. Who knows what the situation was? Only they know. And stop putting that on Black Americans. Okay. Let me see. The confrontation happened when Muse, who was dating Cardelli's 17-year-old sister, refused to leave after 1 a.m. What? The curfew was set by the parents. Why 1 a.m.? Why not 10? Oh, okay. The curfew was set by the parents. Muse was barred by the sister's bail condition. From being. Wow. Muse was barred by his sister's bail condition from being in her presence. Court documents indicated he wasn't supposed to be there. Okay. The pandemonium broke out when Cardelli's retrieved a handgun. Cardelli said he was assaulted by Muse and feared for his life when he pulled the trigger. Okay. That's quite interesting. So there was some legal issue. He wasn't supposed to be there. The daughter had a 1 a.m. curfew at the age of 17. Okay. He was like, no, I'm not leaving. And then an altercation ensued. So why? I have so many questions. Now, what I find interesting is that the Muslim community was outraged. Now, it appears that Ishaq was a tad bit wayward, meaning a little lost in how he should do things here in the States, to where apparently he got into some type of trouble, and to where he was not supposed to be there, and he was barred from being around her in her home. He went there anyway. Sometimes you got to pull your children back, especially, and I'm going to get into a little bit of cultural, because when you leave your land and you go to a very free country and you come to the US for monetary reasons, it's not religious, it's all about money. And you come from a restricted country to where you have a lot of laws and rules based on religion, and then you take that child out of that situation and then you place them in fun, 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 no rules, no da 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 da. And then you can't do it. You can't do it. Not all can handle it. And they wind up like I can't even pronounce his name. But I'm saying all that to say this. Well, not say this, but to play this. Wait, did I miss anything? Anything did I miss? Okay, I didn't miss anything. All right. All right, let's get to the video. Now, I find this video quite interesting. All right.
A Portland man accused of killing his sister's boyfriend will spend the next 7.5 years in prison. Mark Cardilli Jr. was convicted of manslaughter last December in the shooting death of Isahak Muse. Cardilli never denied shooting Muse, but claimed it was in self-defense. From the beginning of this case, it raised questions about the limits of self-defense and racial bias. News Center Maine's Shannon Moss is at the...
Hold on. I knew they were going there. I just knew it. Racial bias had nothing to do with him refusing to leave these people's home. No. And I knew that they were going to go there. I'm thinking that they're going to also go into cultural bias. I don't give a damn what culture you're from. If you were where they were from and the parents asked you to leave their home and you refused, believe me, you will get the beat down of your life. Now, it just so happened that this young man had an altercation with the family, and the boy or the son pulled out because he could protect his home. Look, the Constitution in this country promises you life, liberty, and property. Now, someone cannot violate those three things when it pertains to the person. Now, the family, the Cardilli family, he violated their property because he was asked to leave. Now, they can protect that property. Now, you're going to say, BGD, you sound very conservative. No, I'm not conservative, because if it were you, and if you told someone to leave your home, and I believe that everyone has had a situation with people or a person one time or a few times within your lifetime, to where you ask someone to leave your property or to get out of your face, and they don't. They do it because they can, and they were never checked until someone checks them. And when somebody checks you, it doesn't always turn out the way that you wish. Okay. Oh, it's just not good. Okay.
Cumberland County Courthouse live tonight with more. Shannon?
Well, Lindsay, Muse was shot and killed at the Cardilli home last March when he was asked to leave several times and refused. Now, Cardilli has always admitted that he went to grab the gun but didn't fire it until he said Muse came after him, attacking him. Now, tensions and emotions have run high since the shooting happened. The Cardilli family has claimed that they were retaliated against by the Muse family. The Muse family upset because they say it took police 2 weeks. And what police are saying was a complex case to make an arrest. Well, those emotions and that hurt played out in court today. Now, Muse is the youngest of 9 siblings. Many of those siblings, family and friends, took the stand today, urging the judge to give Cardilli the maximum sentence, which is in Maine for manslaughter, 30 years. Siblings and other friends, they broke down in tears. They talked about what a loving person Muse was and how he would light up a room. They had strong words for Cardilli, calling him evil and a coward for destroying their family.
Now, I gotta say, I feel really, really bad for his sister, the girlfriend. I feel really bad for her because several different reasons. One, she's dealing with a man from a different culture. And when you deal with people from different cultures and customs, they do things differently. And they also, the people that have a different customs and culture that come to another country and have a different customs and culture, you must abide by the culture and customs that you came to. Now, when you hold on to your customs and culture and you try to bring it into someone else's, it's going to be a big problem. It is. But back to his sister. I feel bad for her because she's conflicted. She has two allegiances, one to her boyfriend and one to her family. Now, when her boyfriend violated the wishes of her family, for me, no. You respect the family's wishes, especially the parents' wishes, as they would want her to respect their wishes. Look, respect goes both ways, not just one way. Okay. But I feel bad for her because she has to live with that. Oh,
His girlfriend, Chelsea Cardilli, that's Mark Cardilli's sister, also took the stand, telling her brother he took a human life because Muse was a black man. Cardilli spoke, saying he wishes the...
Okay. Now, his sister, now, you see, I don't know the makeup of Maine or what's going on up there politically and socially and culturally. Truly don't know. But for her to say, yeah, my brother, he took a life of a black man. No, he didn't take a life of a black man. He took a life of a Muslim, not a black man. And the news media needs to stop doing that. And I'm not going to get in the political part of it. I'm going to leave that one alone because I'm going to ramble on and I don't want to do that.
Events that night didn't happen, and that every day he wishes Muse was alive.
It's a happy young immigrant. It's a happy kid. His life was contagious. You're a coward for shooting somebody in the back.
I am not the monster that people think I am. I did not want Mr. Hughes to die.
Sentencing lasted for more than 5 hours today before the judge rendered her decision. Again, that was 7.5 years in prison. She said this crime was not premeditated, but that Mark Cardilli did make a devastating decision to get that gun and ultimately use it. And we'll have much more on this story coming up.
Okay. And yeah, she was right. It was a devastating decision. Now, the thing is this is not, what people are not looking at. Now, if they didn't have a weapon, what would have happened? Because he was already disrespecting the home and disrespecting the parents' wishes. Because they asked him to leave and he refused. So if he's refusing to leave, he's already putting a stance of hostility. I'm not leaving. And then you get into a physical altercation. I'm going to leave it at this right here. And I know I'm going to get some people inbox saying blah, 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 blah. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't. And if you must, back it up with something besides, oh, you're a racist. That's the craziest thing I ever heard. Crazy. But look at the actions. Keep in mind, they were culturally different. And a different religion and how things are done. And then you bring that into a free society that there are a lot of restrictions and basically young people can basically do what they want based on the political atmosphere and the social atmosphere do as thou will. Now, what I find rather interesting is that he's Muslim. And they don't have that do as thy will at all. Period. You follow the Quran, and that's it. But I'm going to leave it right there. So, what are your thoughts? Do you think the media was playing up on because he is a quote unquote black Muslim? No, a straight Muslim. He's a Muslim. No, he's Muslim. But then they do the headlines, a black man. That needs to stop. To rile people up and to get people upset, the black community upset. I know what you were trying to do, and that's raggedy. I'm talking to the media. That was raggedy. But on that note, please like, subscribe. If I said something that you agree with or disagree with, please put something down. But please articulate your points and don't say, oh, you're a racist or, oh, you're a liar, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to say, do it like this. You're a racist because, and then add your point. You're a liar because, add your point. But just don't say you're a racist, period. That I'm just going to delete. It's not even worth my time to even. But thank you for stopping by.